Taurus, get ready for a wave of lasting abundance, a necessary release, and the promise of steadfast love on the horizon. Dear Taurus, there was a time when you steadfastly nurtured, perhaps a patient investment of your energy and resources that went unacknowledged, or a relationship you built with unwavering loyalty, only to see its foundations feel unsteady. It felt as if your dedication was sometimes taken for granted. You have always navigated life with practicality and perseverance, poured your heart into building stability, and shared what you had as if ensuring a solid ground for everyone. Because of this, you quietly shouldered loss, absorbing it with stoic grace. But today, it's not about receiving something entirely new. Rather, it's a return, a harvest of what you've diligently sown. Think of it as a sturdy tree, after seasons of care, finally bearing its richest fruit. If these words resonate with you, remember, you are not forgotten. You've entered a moment when the wheel of effort and reward begins to turn decisively in your favor, bringing back the tangible results of your dedication. Abundance is making its way back to you. Money isn't merely a game of luck, it's an energy awakened by your consistent effort and integrity. You don't need to chase after it. There's no need to calculate or compete frantically. Simply stand firm in your own worth. Money often represents more than just currency. It's the recognition for your hard work you once hesitated to fully claim. It's the security that was delayed because your heart hadn't yet fully valued its own unwavering efforts. It serves as a reminder that the universe has always acknowledged your quiet contributions. Dear Taurus, your healing journey begins with what may seem like a worldly reward, compensation. Yet within this compensation lies the healing of a soul that has long felt the need to strive, not due to bad karma, but because of a quiet strength and resilience that often goes unnoticed. How many times have you invested your resources to help someone without needing repayment? How often have you chosen steady progress over frantic competition, simply because you didn't want to lose your inner peace? You've chosen to love and commit wholeheartedly, even when you were the anchor in someone else's storm, diligently shoring up the foundations. You were a source of strength in someone else's desert, yet you sometimes felt depleted in the quiet of your own sanctuary. This wasn't weakness, it was the compassion of someone who understands the law of patient cultivation. Everything you build, every act of perseverance, will eventually yield its harvest, but not according to human timelines, rather on the soul's timeline, where all things need time to mature. Today marks a new chapter in that timeline, one where you no longer need others to validate your efforts. Here, the universe speaks on your behalf. You're not just receiving back what you gave. You're being restored and fortified because you didn't allow setbacks to erode your determination. Some may possess wealth, yet remain fearful. Others might have money, but lack inner peace. You, however, are destined to embody both security and serenity. Understand this: money is not merely a reward, it's a tool for your soul to build further, love more deeply, and live truer to your grounded essence. Don't fear wealth, don't shy away from just compensation. You are not small for receiving, rather, you are grand in your building and sustaining. Dear Taurus, affirm this to yourself as a ritual. I don't need to prove my worth. I have always been worthy. I receive with gratitude. I accept what belongs to me with open hands, free from hesitation or guilt. You are a source of stability. You do not compromise your foundations to please others. Instead, you let the current of earned abundance return to your steadfast heart. You no longer need to prove anything. You don't have to live just to be recognized for your efforts. You don't need to play the role of the endlessly strong one to align with your heart. You are the embodiment of enough. You are the resting place of lasting blessings, not a space where they rush past. Prosperity finds its way home to you because you never closed your heart to diligent work. Abundance finds its way home because you never locked your soul away from your core values. The universe chooses you, not because you begged for it, but because you have always been a worthy, solid vessel. Today, open your heart not out of expectation, but because you finally realize you don't need permission to receive what you've earned. If these words stir something within you, if your heart feels a gentle tremor as if a secure door is about to open, know that this is not mere coincidence. This is your soul recalling the deep wellspring of its own worth, forgotten in years of tireless effort. I am ready to receive. I no longer need to cling to what has already drained me. I open my heart not out of fear of loss, but because I choose to live securely again. Write this down as a sacred ritual. I am not just rebuilding. I am reclaiming with the strength that has always been mine. I allow goodness to find me, not through a window, but through the front door of my heart. If you sense something familiar, a commitment, a responsibility, or a cherished routine gently departing from your life, don't hold on. Sometimes a release is the most liberating gift from the universe, clearing space for new growth on solid ground. Let's explore this next part together. A sudden release, a silent farewell to a burden, yet one that brings your soul back into the light of peace. Dear Taurus, you once held on to something, a situation, a possession, a person, fearing that letting go would destabilize your world. You walked the fine line of endurance to prevent something from changing. You sacrificed your comfort, your plans, and even your peace of mind to preserve what you believed was a vital connection or a necessary foundation. Then one day, perhaps without warning, it shifted or was removed. No clear goodbye, no final embrace, no clear reason for you to avoid self-blame for the perceived instability. It changed as if your efforts to maintain it never mattered, leaving you with a fractured sense of security, feeling ungrounded. If you're hearing these words, perhaps you carry a sense of an ending that was never clearly articulated. Today, dear Taurus, let's redefine this experience, not as a loss, but as a ritual of grounding and recentering. Not everyone who departs is a wound. Not every ending signifies failure. Some people enter our lives to awaken us to our need for security, while others leave to open doors to greater stability we once feared to approach. Separation isn't always a wound. It's a necessary pruning, severing ties that no longer allow for healthy growth. A broken relationship or a changed plan doesn't imply unworthiness. It may simply signify the completion of a soul lesson in attachment or value. You were not abandoned. You were steered towards what truly aligns with your spirit's need for genuine security. Remember those times you cried alone in your quiet space, pretending to be fine and in control? Recall the moments when you understood the unspoken messages, reading entire truths in the silence or lack of reciprocity. You were in a two-person dynamic, yet felt like you were the only one shoring up the foundations. Dear Taurus, you loved with a heart that built, but your steadfastness sometimes fell on unappreciative ground. You once believed that if you were good enough, patient enough, selfless enough, they would stay or it would last. Deep down, however, you knew it wasn't your inadequacy, but perhaps their inability to understand or match your level of commitment. We often cling to what has run dry, fearing we won't find that sense of security again. But have you realized that when someone or something leaves, they also create space for what truly sustains you to arrive? Not everyone has the courage or capacity to remain and build with you. Not everyone deserves to witness the steadfastness of your heart when you open it. The ones who leave don't take the best parts of you. They only take what you've already released or outgrown. The lesson in separation lies not in tears, but in awakening to your own intrinsic value. You once thought you were hurt or that your world was shaken, but in truth, you were being cleansed of what was unstable. You believed they took happiness or security with them, but really, they only carried away their own inability to commit or their own misalignment. Some goodbyes mark endings, while others signify the beginning of true, self-sourced stability. You've learned to stand on your own, without someone else defining your security. You've learned to move forward, not seeking validation from those who turn their backs on your loyalty. You've learned to value yourself, not to be kept, but to keep yourself secure. Dear Taurus, you didn't fail because someone left or something changed. You triumphed because you no longer need them to define your existence or your worth. The beautiful truth is that your spirit will no longer shrink or overextend to fit into someone else's inconsistent heart or unstable plan. I let go. I do not cling to what is already complete or unviable. I do not blame those who didn't choose me or my path. Instead, I choose my own peace and stability. I no longer wait for someone to understand me. I understand myself. I no longer wait for someone to provide my security. I rebuild myself with resilience, quiet reflection, and renewed purpose. I no longer demand apologies because I no longer need permission to move forward towards what feels solid and true. Dear Taurus, you don't need to know why they left or why things changed. You only need to recognize that they couldn't accompany you into the next phase of your secure journey. It's not your fault. It's not bad luck. It's simply the soul's selection of what truly nourishes it. Today, you can nod gently and say, I allow this departure or change as a form of regrounding. I am grateful for what is no longer, for it taught me to reflect on myself and my true needs. Oh, Taurus, if you find yourself crying, let those tears flow. Don't hold them back. Don't explain or try to understand. Just know you're washing away an old layer, a piece of a burden that is now ready to leave your heart. Write this down as a farewell ritual. I no longer wait for someone to return or for things to be as they were. I do not blame those who didn't understand my need for stability. I send them off with gratitude and peaceful eyes. You are being prepared for a new connection, a love that won't ask you to compromise your core needs. In the next part, we'll explore how love doesn't arrive as a random gift. It comes when you're ready to see yourself reflected in another's eyes as the valuable, steadfast person you are. True love is about to call your name, not to test your patience, but to embrace you fully and reliably. Dear Taurus, have you ever loved someone so deeply that you forgot how to prioritize your own peace and comfort? Have you ever opened your heart, given everything to build something, and then quietly gathered the pieces when they walked away or it crumbled, as if your efforts were never there. Was there a moment when you asked yourself, does anyone truly see me? Not the strong facade you present, nor the kind, practical support you offer, but the real you in those moments of silent endurance and quiet building. In the quiet nights when you felt the weight of responsibility while others thought you were simply strong. In the times you withdrew just to maintain peace, even as your heart craved simple, reliable affection. You may have thought love wasn't meant for someone as practical or perhaps as cautious as you. But dear Taurus, true love doesn't come to fix you. It comes to see you exactly as you are. Strong, sensual, sometimes stubborn, yet deeply loyal, and still choose to stay and build with you. A commitment is on the horizon, not necessarily from someone from your past, but from a soul whose essence was once intertwined with yours in another realm. Someone who values what you value. They won't arrive with grand, fleeting gestures. Instead, they'll come with eyes that never look away, offering consistent presence. They will promise to love you with steadfastness, to be there whenever you need a reliable partner. They won't just ask what's wrong. They'll simply know when you need comfort or quiet space, even if you haven't said a word. Taurus, true love doesn't create tension. It allows you to breathe and feel secure. Picture this. You're sitting comfortably in your favorite spot at dusk, sunlight filtering softly through the leaves. There are quiet footsteps, unhurried. This person won't move you with dramatic flair, but rather because they make you feel seen, understood, and safe without needing to explain or defend your nature. They won't fear your occasional stubbornness. They'll understand it's the voice of a heart that has faced inconsistency and now values its boundaries. They won't panic when you need quiet time. They'll hold space for you as if your need for peace is a song your soul has kept hidden. Taurus, you are not too much or too set in your ways. You are the one the universe saved for a love that is equally grounded. Not everyone has the depth or patience to love you correctly, but some souls are destined to find you, and they are on their way. This love isn't here to possess you. It's here to free you from the roles you've had to play to feel secure in the past. You don't need to try so hard to be loved. You don't need to hide your tenderness or your need for physical affection. You don't need to act eternally strong or conceal your vulnerabilities behind that gentle, calm smile. True love doesn't ask anything of you that compromises your essence. It simply asks, can you be yourself, truly and comfortably, with me? This isn't a reward for suffering. It's a reunion between two souls that once lost their way but always sought solid ground. You've learned that love doesn't require drama or control. It simply needs genuine presence, trust, and mutual respect. You embody a heart that has found enough peace and self-worth to hold such a love. Believe that this person will come to you, not because of longing, but because you've returned to your own center of strength and self-appreciation. I no longer overextend for love. I stand in my own worth, and love finds me. I open my heart, unafraid of being hurt by expecting realistic commitment. I deserve to be loved fully, deeply, and peacefully. I don't need to complete someone. I need someone to walk beside me, to cherish the sacred, stable bond between us both. Taurus, you are no longer in a phase of waiting to be rescued or validated. You are the keeper of steadfastness, and true love will be drawn to that unwavering light. Repeat softly to yourself, I open the door without trembling. I receive without fear of instability. I choose love, not out of lack, but because I am already whole and secure. Dearest Taurus, if your soul trembled upon hearing these words, it's not mere coincidence. It's a sign. Someone is thinking of you, feeling a pull towards your steady, calming presence without knowing why. Write this down beneath the video as a sacred ritual to the universe. I am ready to be seen, to be loved, to be chosen by a love that doesn't ask me to shrink or compromise my foundations. Taurus, you have passed through all three gates: the gate of earned reward, the gate of necessary release, and the gate of deep, stable love. Now you don't need to search anymore. You don't need to strive to be chosen, for you've returned to yourself. Your soul, grounded, serene, resilient, and full of deep devotion, whispers, "There's no more healing to do by overcompensating, because I am secure and I am home within myself." Take a moment to pause, breathe deeply, and place your hand on your heart. Write this down as a sacred ritual for your soul. I am no longer waiting for external validation. I am ready to live as the strong, grounded presence I've always been. Taurus, the path ahead doesn't require your anxious effort. It only needs your presence, truly, consciously, gently. Let no one unsettle you, for you are your own anchor. Thank you for listening with your whole heart. If today's journey touched something within you, know that it wasn't by chance. It was an invitation to return to your true, secure self. Wishing you a soul quiet enough to hear the voice of your own wisdom and a heart open enough to receive all the good that is meant for you. You are not alone. The universe is here, gently watching you grow stronger and more rooted day by day.